Alright, welcome to the Becca Show. It is May 22nd. That's right, it's the right date, right?
I have no idea.
May 22nd. Stay over there. Blue is 3 days away from being a month old. So I thought we would measure him again and see where he is as far as his height, and we'll get another projection on where he'll mature. I'm still thinking he'll mature to be 34 inches tall. But when we measured him last week, he was 23 inches even. So if he is at 23 3/4 of an inch today, he'll most likely be 34 inches tall when he's 3 years old. But can a horse really grow 3/4 of an inch in a week? I guess we'll find out. And we'll be vaccinating our horses today. Becca has already had her vaccination. She had it while Blue was in utero, so he doesn't need his vaccination either. In fact, you don't really need to vaccinate until they're a year old. I don't know. We only vaccinate once a year. Unless you're showing, then you may need to vaccinate more frequently because of the rhino vaccine. It gets updated every 6 months. But I'm not an expert on vaccinations because we just do it annually. And some of our, ponies have really good immune systems anyway, and you don't always need to vaccinate annually. There's our friends, the wasps, trying to make a nest somewhere in here, I'm sure.
Just let them.
Just let them?
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Alright, so if you hear buzzing, that's wasps. And yeah. I'll stop goofing off. First up, I guess I will go grab Shelby. You want me to grab two at a time? Well, I was going to grab one at a time. First is going to be Shelby, and then I'll bring in Puck.
Okay.
I'm just going to go down the line.
No, Frankie. This is Shelby. She's a little dirty. She still has a lot of her winter coat. Much like Annie, she has a hard time shedding. But she has a different reason for her long shed season. And it's because she has a single coat. She gets cold much more easily, and so she holds onto that winter coat much longer than the others. You want me to brush her first? Get an alcohol swab and stuff like that? Alcohol would be nice.
All right.
You don't have to worry so much about brushing her.
All right, I'll go get cotton balls and
I'm not
alcohol.
going over her whole body with it.
No?
So we're using a 5-way vaccine for, again, we don't show, and we don't really actually expose our horses to other horses even in the neighborhood, so they're not really at a high risk for any major, Frank, any major diseases. You have the chance of Nile virus out west, a specific time of year when you have a lot of mosquitoes out, and the rhinovirus, which is like the flu essentially. If we never ever expose any of them to any other horses, then we will really reduce our chances. I think, though, I'd have to read up on the rhinovirus, whether or not it can stay inside you and mutate inside you and then turn into another form that your immune system isn't used to, or if your immune system slowly loses protection after time and then it can come back, or if it has to just jump around mutating and you have to be re-exposed to it again. So there's the basics on that. Shelby's a bay pinto, and a little basic info is I know, honey, you want to go out the door. We bred her once, and she came into foal, had the foal, and Brenda and I weren't there, and it didn't make it out of the amniotic sac, or couldn't breathe, and so it died. Since then, she has not come into foal, and so this year we're actually working with the vet to try to figure out if there's any actual medical reason for it, or if it's just everything's really unlucky with her. So that's Shelby.
Are you talking about her
Yeah.
inabilities?
It's more interesting to talk about something than stand for 5 minutes, yeah.
She's a nice horse. Makes me sad that she can't have a baby. Or, I mean, she might be able to, or she has in the past. We just want one to survive.
She's a lot like Annie in personality, or I guess Annie's a lot like her. She loves people and stuff like that, but in the past year she's gotten kind of pushy with other horses. So I don't know why, but she used to be the one that we'd introduce all the new horses to, because she loves to groom. She's got the single coat, so she's really sensitive to insects, temperatures, things like that. She loves to groom with other horses and go up and scratch each other like crazy. So we'd bring a new horse in, put it with Shelby first, and she'd run up to him and just start scratching their neck, and so that they'd scratch hers. And she'll do that for hours.
Where do you want to poke her?
But recently she's gotten to where she will still do that, but then she chases most of the horses away after that, so she's kind of developing a problem. Alright, so with vaccine, you have subcutaneous, intramuscular, and intravenous. This one is intramuscular, so you have to find a main muscle mass to put it in. That's usually along the neck, shoulder, or hindquarters. Hey, honey. I like the hindquarters because there's so much muscle there. Most people avoid it because that's the furthest away from where you control the animal. Most people go for like the junction of the neck and the shoulder. With a mini, it's harder to find a lot of muscle, especially with the length of the needle, because they're so small. But it's just like with a dog, they do it all the time. So you just find the spot where you're going to put the needle in, find a nice area of muscle that you want to put it in, and I think I'm going to go right about here. So clean it off. Up here.
Well, I'm gonna get some hair out of the way.
It's showing you. So, there's kind of a technique to do it to get the horse to not flinch as much. You shall be.
I don't know if I got down to the skin or not. So I'll do it again.
Okay, you're going to end up basically tapping or slapping their side where you're going to inject it. And then you do it a couple times kind of rhythmically, and then you put the needle in at the same time that you would slap. That kind of gives the animal something to get used to, as well as help desensitize the spot. Then you put the needle in, and then you very slowly inject it. The faster you go in, the more it separates the tissue and tears it and actually hurts. It also helps if you've been keeping the vaccine in your pocket to warm it up. Obviously you want to keep it refrigerated if it's needed up until you're about to use it. But
Do you want to go on the other side?
yeah.
Back up.
Shelby. Oh, you said back up. I said Becca.
Oh, back up.
Okay, honey.
Girl.
So you get it in there. You need to pull out just a little bit. And you don't get any blood to come in, so you know you're not in a vein. Okay, honey. I know. Easy. Just slowly push it in. Pull it out. Rub it.
And that air bubble came out when you pulled out, right? So there,
Push it. Okay. The air bubble's only a problem if it's in the vein.
oh, okay. I was just.
So if you get an air bubble and then you're going to try to go intravenously, you want to make sure you can get the air bubble out before you go into the vein again.
Good girl, Shelby. You have been vaccinated.
So anyways, that's it. Really simple. And so that's how you do a vaccination.
Do you want me to put her out in the pasture so she can run around a bit?
Sure.
Okay.
Are your mares lower than your stallions when they neigh and whinny? Oh, most of the mares that we've run into out here, the mares have a deeper neigh and whinny than the stallions do. Yeah, Annie's got a really deep whinny. Yeah, she's tiny. I don't know where Brenda. Oh, she's working this puck.
He's really dirty.
Yeah, there are photos up on. Where'd you put Annie's photos?
On Facebook. On the Little Hooves Miniature Horse fan page. You are dirty. Wow, it's like a dust cloud coming off of you.
The horsehair brush, you know.
Frank ate it. I haven't replaced it yet.
That's always good.
Puck, I think, is our most rugged of horses. Hey, watch it there, buddy. Look, getting him to stand still. Maybe there's a rope halter. He seems to respond better to that one. Want me to find it? If I could get some carrots and distract him with carrots. Right now, Taylor's trying to work with him to show him who's boss. Seems like a little bit of a war right now. Yeah, I think having a big personality is an understatement with Puck even. Puck, how about we show you the harness? Would you quiet then?
The driving harness?
Yeah. You're like, oh, I don't want that. As you can see, Puck is mostly shed out. This is about as gold as he gets before he starts to get roan again. The roaning on his legs is the last to shed out, but it doesn't really fully shed out before he starts to roan again. So this is as gold as he gets, really. He's already started to get white hairs in his coat.
We can go run 30 miles first.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pent-up energy.
Close the gate.
Having trouble with that knot? Taylor's at a minor disadvantage when it comes to tying knots. His father was left-handed. And so he learned to tie knots backwards, except he's right-handed.
Except I'm right-handed, and then whenever I forget him, people have shown him to me right-handed, so now I can't tie a knot to save my life. Like right there, I have it except for that one loop. Anyways, it's never going to happen, not right now. So if you just hold him here,
I can hold.
you know that really stupid, simple knot that's a piece of cake, and I have the picture of it in my head, and for some reason,
Would you like me
can't
to
tie it.
You're talking about the one that we used on him all the time?
No.
No? Oh, it's a different one. Well, I don't know the different one. Hey.
If you want to hold him, do you want to?
How about this? Okay, you get the alcohol. You already have it.
I do.
Do you have the cotton swabs?
I don't. You do.
It's right here. Sorry, but you're grabbing the bag. Uh-oh.
What was that eyeball for?
It's like, I suspect something's going on here. Your suspicions are correct.
Fine, I'm going back here. You're not going to stop hot. Sure.
Hey, Buck, how are you? He hears showtime and really wants to get out, see what all the fuss is about.
Well, watch yourself here. Whoa, hang on.
I think I need to hold your head still.
You got him? Or do I have to?
Alright.
You're never against a fight. He's going to just push on you the whole time if you do that. As you're pushing into him, he's going to push right back.
Alright. I'm just trying to hold, because he's like leveraging the halter
I
against my
know.
hand, trying to pinch my hand away.
I hate those halters.
Good boy, Puck. You're like, holy crap, there's something going on back there. Suddenly he got really calm.
Okay.
You're done? The calmest you were was right when the needle got in there? She's like, what is that? All right, Puck. Now I can let him go run around the front. Let me go close that gate so that he doesn't go clash with the Titan.
Come on.
We'll be right back.
Easy, easy. Hey. Let me look at you. Come here. Not. Don't go after Frank. Well, they just ran over Frank.
That's good.
Alright, so you'll probably notice as we go that there is blood right there. Because when I went on him, we nicked the vein, I'm assuming. So don't worry, I am aware, I do know. I did not give him the shot in there. I was more concerned about getting everything done and getting him out of there before I came in. But yeah, you may notice later on in the show there's blood on my thigh. I'm aware of it. It's not from any of the other horses that we're working with. So and I guess she's grabbing Annie now.
This way, Annie. Come on. I know, the leg goes fast.
Let go past you, girl. Okay.
She looks so much smaller now. Now that she's been clipped. And especially in comparison to the last two that were in here. I might measure Annie too while we're in here.
Okay.
Can you hand me the
Well,
stick? Measuring stick.
path, now that we have that /watch TV whatever link at the end, and we know it starts with the HTTP, try doing the two pieces in the URL removed, I guess.
Oh, I should go and change the settings.
Oh, you know how?
Yeah, I
It's
can
not
make
been
it.
changed?
I can make it so they can.
I thought you had that on the default.
No, not when it's signed into XChat. So, should I go there and do that now? They trying to share a link right now?
I don't know, whatever.
Here,
think
Taylor,
so.
measure a miniature horse.
Measure, it takes 2 people in a flat area.
You've always made me measure them by myself.
Okay, right back there. I'm going to say you're not 36 inches tall. Yeah, so there's no near level below it. Really? Thank you. Happy, that's all it is. Come on, couple steps forward, thanks. Nope, right there. You were doing this yesterday for the pictures. Okay, right there. Now, we're on the world's most uneven floor, but I'm going to say you're somewhere between 30 and 30 and a half.
Hey, I'll help now if you want.
Oh, perfect. That's an accurate measurement within half an inch.
Yeah. How many times did you measure?
Oh,
A bazillion.
no, I just roughed them in.
Alright.
This is not a floor that you can get an accurate measurement off of, Brenda.
It's more accurate than you think. I know it's not like a leveled concrete surface.
Whatever.
Whoa, wait.
Danny, come in. Yep, gotta go this way. Thank you. Okay.
Head should be up. And what was the measurement you got?
I was like just under 30. I didn't really do anything though. I was very roughly estimating it.
Yeah, I just got about the same, just under 30, so. I would say it's a 29 7/8 of an inch. And she is, Annie is, well, she's 13, almost 14 months old. She was born April 6th, I think, last year. So she's past 13 months. And that's about right for a yearling that's going to mature about 32 to 33. So long as they're at that year mark. I think Puck was 29 inches when he was 9 months old or something like that. Maybe he was 10 months old. And Puck is 33 inches tall. So that's kind of a gauge that we go by. All right, Annie. The torture continues. Where's the muscle on this one?
It's like you
Doesn't
go
have any.
right through to the bone. Pawing just like Puck. I guess she'll be pawed a little too.
She just doesn't like the halter.
Aw, you seem to be enjoying that.
Lift some weights and come back with some muscle.
There's some here. Little tiny baby muscle.
I really don't like to do the neck on me.
Probably shouldn't do the neck on me. Oh, hi.
Oh my gosh, you don't have any muscle. What is wrong with you?
She said that she's putting all of her calories into bone growth. And you're going to feel something that's kind of like a bee sting. Have you ever been stung by a bee?
God.
Have you ever been stung by a horsefly? It'll hurt about like that.
I'd rather eat a shot than be somewhat bit by a horsefly.
I've been bitten by a horsefly. It's no fun. They don't come off when you shake your leg, that's for sure.
Okay.
You're a good girl. Wow, you were the best yet. That was your first shot, such a brave little girl. I would be scared to death of a needle that long.
Cover it up. Here you go, Skinny. Alright, so what else are you doing?
Well, we have to vaccinate Class C and Showtime still.
I'm waiting on Showtime. I'm not dealing with Puck in
Alright,
the attitude he's in right now.
I can go get Puck and put him away and get Showtime. You don't even want to do that. We can go out to Showtime. We don't have to bring
Yeah.
Showtime here.
It's fine.
Showtime won't be coming in, but I'll go get Classy. she'll come in. Classy might be pregnant. I still don't know. Maybe Taylor can
Unless
help
they're
me.
dying to wait a long time to see Showtime.
Do you want to see Showtime?
I have to wait for them to reply.
That's fine. You have to wait to see him. It'll take a while.
I don't even know if they're paying attention to me.
Fine too.
I'll let you determine.
Easiest? I can go back inside and go to sleep or something. I don't know.
I need to get a different size halter for Classy. This one will never work.
See ya.
Bye, Taff.
Well. Hey Frank, come here. Come on. I'm gonna give you a horse's vaccine, okay?
Oh, jeez.
Then you'll be safe to fight Puck. Because you'll be immune to horses.
All right. Well, I'm thinking that because the other horses are kind of in the pasture, and I have to take them through. We'll probably go out there to vaccinate the rest of them. So that would be Classy and Showtime, and we'll probably bring them in another time for you to see. Plus, Classy, if she's pregnant, she'll be in here for the foaling watch, so everyone will get a chance to see her then. And boy, Shelby's really running around out there. And bucking a lot too. So maybe one day we'll be able to point the camera out so you can see them in action. But I think that we'll stop vaccinating horses for now. I'll go get Becca and Blue, and we'll measure Blue, and we can leave them in here for you to look at for a little while. I apologize to Taff for not bringing them in before she had to go.
Get out of there. Get. We already cleaned it. Get out. You're not helping. You're just gonna get really sick tonight. Alright, well, it's probably gonna get kind of noisy because Frank will bark or. Get out of there. No. Frank, out. Frank will bark or Puck will start to squeal. Something's gonna happen, so brace yourselves for it to get kind of loud.
No cotton ball shooting. Measuring stick. Where? Oh, it's back up there. Should you grab the measuring stick, please? Becca and Blue are back. Becca, your mane still has that. What should we call it? Eczema. Yeah, it's still the dry skin issue right here, where she was scratching like crazy in April. It looks like it's healing though. It's just kind of gross. Blue, check out this thing.
Hi, Becca.
Hey, that's my finger. Alright, you're supposed to be this tall, so we'll measure you for that height. Just stay there. No, stop moving. No, it's not exactly even. There's a dip right there. Alright, that's more even. Other side.
Not going to stand here that long. Just starting to notice his mom's gone.
Alright, well, we got Blue approximately 23 and a quarter, which is really good. However, he still has the opportunity to have a growth spurt here and there, and so it's the law of averages, not necessarily any one measurement's going to determine how tall he will mature to be. But we like seeing lower measurements than higher measurements. Today he is 3 days away from being a month old, so we can kind of guess that he's not going to be 23.8 inches tall in 3 days. If so, it will be a miracle. He grew a quarter of an inch in a week, which is amazing. I wish I could grow that fast. But I'm done growing. So I guess we'll try and factor in how tall he'll mature to be, but it looks to be more along the lines of 33.5 inches at this point. At a month old, Annie fooled me. She was on track for 32 inches, and then she had a growth spurt the next month and then was on track for 33. So, you know, I ranged her within, she'll be like 32 and a half, I think, like the height of her mom. But the new measurement we got on her will help us. Does anyone remember what that was? What was that?
30 inches.
30 inches?
Just shy of 30.
So Annie's at 30 and Blue is at 23 and a quarter. And I guess I'll go figure out how far along they are and what their projected heights will be. It's kind of exciting. I'm glad to see that Blue is more and more, he's looking more and more like he won't go over 34 inches. He has really long legs for his little size, so he'll be stunning.
the long-legged look is always appreciated in miniature horses. It's just the height factor. A lot of people always get worried about breeding horses that are on the cusp of going oversized, but in actuality, those taller horses do well in the shows versus the shorter ones. It's just because they look more proportionate like horses. And I'm also drawn and attracted to them more. Like, I see a miniature horse and say, oh, that one's so beautiful, I want it, and it'll be 33, 34 inches tall, and I say, well, go figure. I guess that I should just accept that I like the taller minis, and the smaller ones are really cute, but I'm just attracted to the taller ones. So Blue is going to be something that is going to be really hard for me to sell him. Right now he's listed as private treaty because I would like to negotiate a contract with whomever wants to buy him. I'm definitely not going to sell him to just anyone. Definitely will keep him until the right owner comes along. So yeah, he's a very special boy in my book, and I'll be happy keeping him until the right partnership comes along. I'm thinking more along the lines of co-ownership with him, to keep him for future breeding for my own herd. He's that nice.
He has the hiccups.
He has hiccups. I didn't know horses got hiccups, but I guess they do.
They have a diaphragm.
He's so cute.
Oh, sure, now you're going to stop. Like that. Perfect. You can pay me $1 million for curing you.
He has hiccups again. Oh, Taff, you're still here. I thought you left. So I'm going to go look up what their projected heights are going to be. I'll report back. We'll probably leave these guys in here to hang out so you can check them out a while and you know, bond with them. I'm going to cut Taylor's hair today, so we might clip to the inside of the house so you can see how that's going. I've never seen a horse with hiccups before. Can you guys hear it? I don't know if they can hear it. Well, his sides are going, expanding and contracting whenever he has one. You shouldn't drink that milk so fast, bud.
There you go. All right. Have fun with the hiccups. Key is to relax the diaphragm or contract it, one or the other. I think it's I don't know. Just hold your breath. Just holding your breath. I think it doesn't matter either way, as long as you just don't use it for a long time to go away. It's all in the diaphragm, buddy. It's all in the diaphragm. There you go. Move your head. Thank you. There you go. Clean up the floor.
Alright, I wanted to come back and give you my report on their mature heights. By my calculations right now, Annie is on track to mature at just under 33 inches, so she'll probably be maturing around 32 and 3/4 to 33. And Blue, based off of today's measurement, and this may change, he's on track to actually mature at 33 inches, which is amazing to me. So I will guess that he's going to mature between 33 and 34, and he won't go over 34, which makes me very happy. Makes Blue happy, even though he doesn't know it. He's probably going to see a whole lot more mares in his future. But I'm ecstatic about that. Thank goodness that he's growing slowly to start, and hopefully he doesn't have a huge growth spurt. That's what I will only have to worry about between now and the next 3 years from now. But our hour has ended, and I really appreciate everyone coming to see the show. Apparently we didn't have enough time to get all the horses vaccinated and everything done that I wanted, which is fine, because sometimes I struggle thinking of what we're going to do for each show. And again, I just want to say, if anyone has ideas, just email me, and you can find my email by logging on to littlehooves.com and just contact us, and you can either email me or Taylor. And just send in show suggestions. I mean, we might even be able to bring out the camera for one of the days to see into the pasture. I don't know how well that would work out because we haven't tested it yet. We can do inside the house. I have some chicks that I wanted to show, but they're not quite that friendly anymore. We have one small chick. Maybe I should just show you anyway, but I don't want to bring them outside. Because it's just still a little too drafty for them, and I just want to make sure that they're healthy. So I guess I'll quit rambling and I'll let everyone go. Thanks for spending your Sunday afternoon, night, evening, whatever it is for you, with us. And we'll see you next week on The Becca Show. Thanks. Bye.